you cover it in your book, Overthrow, one of the all-time unfair fights in world history, perhaps one of the most egregious examples of a large nation attacking a small nation. I'm talking about the invasion of Grenada in 1985, I think it was, under Ronald Reagan, a country that has maybe 1/3 of the population of the Bronx and assaulted by American troops. Could you talk about the invasion of Grenada?
83.
83, I'm sorry.
This really is a remarkable episode, as you pointed out. So it happened in 1983, soon after Reagan had come into office. Grenada is a tiny island in the Caribbean. Its entire population could fit into the Rose Bowl in California. That's how small it is. But the United States was looking for a victory. Reagan came into office with this idea that the U.S. had to shake off what he called the Vietnam syndrome, the syndrome that we were, as he called it, a pitiful, helpless giant. He wanted to show that the United States was still able to crush enemies. But as was always the case during the Cold War, we were never able to strike against our real enemies. Nobody ever proposed bombing Moscow or invading China. So we had to go after countries that weren't really our enemies, but were smaller and easier to push around. And there hardly was a country smaller and easier to push around than poor little Grenada. Grenada had inserted itself into the Cold War. The Grenadian leadership had been friendly to the Sandinistas in Nicaragua, to Fidel Castro in Cuba. And somehow the United States developed this idea that this little island could somehow be a threat.